Okay, so I'm going to go over the stations so that some of you can have this as a reflective piece and some of you can have assistance to figure out what we're doing. So the page that says chemistry on it is a picture find, seek and find, and it is due on the 11th. So it should be due on Thursday. Some of you may be set for Friday, so just check the due date on it. The back of it is where the numbers are, and they correspond with stuff on the front, and then you have to figure out definitions for an atom, element, periodic table, physical and chemical change. So what I've been doing is the number that's on the back side is what the number that I put on the front. So the first one is a periodic table of elements. So if you look on the front, this is where periodic table of elements are. And if I look at number 11, which is nucleus, find I. Number 11. 12, it has to do with the electron orbit. So just kind of went in and you put the numbers next to the image that represent it. So you can't use the words in the boxes or the images like that. You have to use like a picture, not just the word part. So that's that piece. Then looking at this.
I double check. It's the 8 through 26. But we'll do 18, 19, 20.
Okay. So on the atomic basics, this starts the station pages. So what we were doing with my group is we were trying to figure out ways to do all this without it being super bulky and clumsy. So number 1 says to draw 5 protons. Number 2 is to draw 6 neutrons. You could go in and draw 5 and 6 of the things that look like that, but that's a lot to try to put in this square or this little circle. So what we were doing is doing 5p for protons, 6n for neutrons, and then that way we still have their locations, their charges. We know they're in the nucleus. Pretty simple and straightforward. Number 3 says to draw 2 electrons on the first energy shell. This circle doesn't count as an energy shell, so this circle here is going to be our electrons. So we're going to draw 2 little negative symbols. Then step 4 says to draw 3 electrons on the second energy. 2, 3, and then it will help if you have a periodic table close. So number 5 says what element is represented on the diagram. My number of P is my atomic number. So my number of P was 5 protons. So I'm going to look at my periodic table, find the thing that has an atomic number of 5. It's boron. I'm going to write boron in the line and you're done. On number 6, I did the labeling parts for you. So we're just going to look over here at 7 and 8. Number 7, what does the atomic number represent? It is the number of protons or the number of electrons. Atomic mass is going to be our number of protons plus our number of neutrons. Number 9 says, how do you figure the number of protons or electrons in an atomic number? So the number of P is always equal to atomic number. Number 10, how do you figure out the number of neutrons in an atom? So it's the mass minus number of P. So to get the number of neutrons, it's the mass minus the protons, or neutrons is mass minus atomic number. So you're going to need your periodic table for this bottom chart. So for lithium, if I know the atomic number, then I know the protons and the electrons. They're all 3 are going to be the same number. So if the atomic number is 3, protons is 3, electrons is 3. For phosphorus, if the atomic number is 15, protons are 15, electrons are 15. For chlorine, protons are 17, so that means my atomic number is 17, and my electrons are going to be 17. Skip down to H for hydrogen. Tells me my protons are 1, so my atomic number is 1, my electrons are 1. So then let's do some neutrons. To get the neutrons, it's the mass minus the number of protons. So 7 minus 3 gives me 4. For phosphorus, 31 minus 15 gives me 16. For chlorine, 35 minus 17 gives me 18. And then when I get down here, atomic mass of 1 minus 1 gives me 0. So you should be able to do the rest of that and get some nice, decent answers. On the back side, go way up to the top. So number 12 is talking about the electron shells. So the first can hold up to 2. The second shell can hold up to 8. Third shell can hold up to 18. So when I look at sulfur, the atomic number is 16. So my protons are going to be 16. Electrons are going to be 16. The mass is 32. So 32 minus 16 gives me 16. To do the electron shells, I have 16 electrons total. 2 can go on the first shell. It gives me 14. So I have 14 left over, but I can only fit 8 on the next shell. So I'm going to take 8 away. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. So then I should have 6 left. 6 can totally fit in the 18. So this is shell 1, shell 2, shell 3. So then the third shell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I couple them up just because it makes it easier for me to count them. So then looking down at lithium. Lithium has an atomic number of 3. So protons are 3, electrons are 3. 7 minus 3 gives me 4. So there I go. Electrons, I got 3. So 1, 2, 3. Always going to fill in 2 on that first ring. Always, always, always. So go down to chlorine because we did that one on the front side too. So 17 and 17. 35 minus 17 gives me 18. 2. Gotta get to 17. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I'm going to go ahead and do these other guys for you because you don't have to focus on those. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14. So all you're going to have to do on the remainder of that paper is fill in neon's information, magnesium's information, helium, and silicon. And then that's it. You don't have to worry about number 16 on the bottom. So then you look at this guy. You're going to do all of the vocab for the top section. You're just matching it to these words over here. I gave those to them as well. So wrote this in so you don't have to label. Underneath the little sharks, symbol, atomic number, mass, protons, electrons, and then neutrons. So it's just the same as this paper, this section. It just looks different. So these two are the same kind of thing that's going on. On the back of that, if you are in pre-AP, then you do the whole worksheet. If you are in general sciences, then you're only going to do this section here. So you're only going to do from element over through number of electrons, and you're only going to pick 10. So you can do however many you want. So if you look down here where atomic number is 8, when you look at the periodic table, find the atomic number of 8, that's oxygen. So if it has an atomic number of 8, it's going to have 8 protons, 8 electrons. The mass on these, we want to round it, so I'm not going to write 15.999. I'm going to round it to 16. So then 16 minus 8 gives me 8. So if you're in general sciences, that's all you're going to do. You're going to pick 10 of them, go all the way across. If you're in pre-AP, you're going to use the electrons and you're going to fill in this chart. So I have 8 total. First one can hold 2. So 8 minus 2 gives me 4. And that's all there are to them. The valence electron is the last group. And so that one for this would be a 4. So if I look up here with this 5 electrons, 2 go in the first shell, 3 would go in the second shell. Oh no, wait, that's wrong. 6. There we go. So then 2 plus 3 gives me 5. So my outermost one would be 3. This one they gave it to me, so 2 plus 8 is 10, 11, 12, 13, so there's 13 electrons total. And my outermost electron would be 3. But you only have to pick 10 on the backside to do. Last worksheet. The bottom section here, you're going to label. So the picture where there's the 2 brackets. One of them is going to be the name of the object. One of them is going to be the charge of the object. So I'm going to give you kind of the guys what I gave them yesterday. So this whole section would be the electron cloud. One of these rings would be the electron shell. This grouping here is the nucleus. I think the rest of that you guys are good to go. 10 through 20 you don't have to do because I already did it for you. 21, 22, 23, you're going to use, it's either aluminum, neon, or oxygen. You're going to count the protons and figure out which one is which. And then on the back, there's a key that will get loaded to Canvas that'll let you see what you're doing. You're just copying in the missing information and adding some color. And that should be it, because this backside, if you have it, is extra credit. But it has to be loaded or posted by the 12th. So hopefully that'll help you out.